Frameslines stopped by the set of Dave Sabbath's feature film God Don't Make the Laws that features actors Paul Sorvino from Goodfellas and Bruce Davison from the X-Men films.
I'll tell you something else. When the Hawk, that's what we call him, the Hawk. When he arrived, in the evenings, when the lights were out, we would hear this howling.
Howling?
Yeah, like a dog crying, eerie sound. Yeah. And this guard, mean son of a bitch, he shot him. And there was no howling after that, but the next morning, this same guard was found in his home with his trigger hand chewed off. I mean, I saw it. There was a pool of red, just bled to the bone.
Bud, that's that's quite a story.
Tell you one last thing. Through all the years, every kind of boy has come through this institution, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is like Hawk.
It actually started as a short story. I entered it in I can't remember, it was an LA writing festival, and it was a finalist, and it was actually going to make it as a short story, and at that time I had Robert Prescott signed on to play Eddie. And then I just kind of looked at all the resources that would go into it, and for not much more, I was able to make it a feature, and I thought, well, I might as well just dive in and make a feature, and just got away from a short. I heard a song, Level Land by James McMurtry, and it's a story about kind of a town that just can't get it right. And then I've always been a basketball freak. I played in high school quite a bit. That's all I did actually growing up. And so it was just a marriage of two, small town. I like to tell people that the movie's about if Stephen King was writing on the back of Norman Rockwell postcards, actually named the town Rockwell. I'm in love with this screenplay. I mean, the inspiration on this screenplay, two things. I'm all about inclusion. You know, everyone wants to be included, and we live in a society where so many of us are excluded. I'm really into inclusion. And then, you know, my daughter's Elizabeth, and she's a real tough kid. And this movie is not about basketball. It's not about Paul Sorvino's character. It's about a little girl named Colby Palmer. And she's just a tough kid who I've seen it all. And she never ages, you know. She's, the bottom line is she's been 17 for 34 years. And she has to deal with that. And you know, I feel sometimes society drags on all of us, and she's just amazing. She's the hero. She's my hero. I started with my producer who produces my commercial. His name's Alex Esber. He's been producing for me for like, I think 3 years now, and we have a good synergy, and he knows all my bad habits, and he knows how I growl, and he's able to hang with me. And I've always, because it's a basketball movie, and Adam White, who shoots quite a bit of my commercials, he's my DP. You know, he's a big sports fan, and we always talk sports, and we've talked about this movie. I mean, I've been talking about doing this particular script for about 2 years now. And then when I finally pulled the trigger, I started with those two, and then the departments just filtered from that. You know, I can't tell you how all these crew people were found, where they came from. I mean, I really just started with Adam and Alex, and everything else went from there. Well, my crew's fantastic. I mean, I don't even have to worry about them. I mean, you know, Dan Gerald, the gaffer's amazing. Jared Green, the key grip's amazing. Aaron Smith, he's fantastic. I mean, I just love the crew. And they know me, and they know how I am. We've had 3 or 4 night shoots till 2, 3 in the morning. And it's been, you know, 9 degrees with the wind chill factor. And you know the most amazing thing? Ella Ray Peck, who plays Colby Palmer, she's outside in a cheerleading outfit. It's 9 degrees. And she's not missing a line. You know, I'm bundled up in 3 sweatshirts and an overcoat. She's out there in a cheerleading outfit, not missing a line. I mean, that's tough. I just looked at her and I'm like, you are amazing. You are one tough kid. I mean, she's like 20 years old and just not missing a line. And it's freezing, but the cold takes its toll. I mean, you know, 10 to 12, 14 hours out in this kind of weather at night starts to take its toll. So that's been really the toughest part. I mean, it really has been. Everything else has been just, you know, paint by numbers, and just getting through it, grinding through it, doing our jobs, making things happen. But the talent's been so amazing that it's really made my job easy. Well, I mean, I handpicked some locals, and then I casted in New York for a week and got all my teenagers. I started with Prescott, and then I moved on to Bud Kelly, who has a very small role, but I wanted someone who is authoritative, but just, you know, comfortable, and that's when I got Bruce Davison. I felt really lucky to get him. And then Lewis, who plays, he has a very main part in the present day. I call him authority coming from above the president, is Paul Sorvino. And I actually, you know, Prescott, Sorvino, and Davison, I mean, I heard back from their agents and they loved the script. And I think that's one of the reasons I was able to get them, is that they liked the material. My plans are to get it done, enter it in European festivals. The first American festival I'll enter it in will be Sundance, and then I'll see where it goes from there. This is all of ours. I mean, it's not mine, it's all of ours. And they're thrilled, man. It's great. I mean, there's a great synergy going on, and that's really, I mean, that's why we all do this. This is the main reason why we all do this, is just for, you know, we're creating something. I mean, it's marvelous. It's great to do a feature. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's everything I thought it would be. I thought I was pretty damn prepared for all this. And I knew it'd be a grind. I knew it'd go over budget, and I knew, and I just, you know, I'll be glad when it's over. I'll be sad and glad when it's over. I'll be glad because I'm going to sleep for 2 days. I'll be sad because I'll miss the drug.